Have you ever wondered how marine animals communicate underwater? Unlike humans, who rely on speech, marine creatures use different methods. These methods are adapted to their environment, where sound travels faster than light. Communication underwater is vital for survival, hunting, and mating. Let's dive into the fascinating world of marine animal communication. The most common form of communication in the ocean is sound. Sound travels faster in water, allowing animals to communicate over long distances. Dolphins are famous for their sophisticated communication skills. They use a combination of clicks, whistles, and body language. Each dolphin has its own unique whistle, which acts like a name. These whistles help dolphins identify and locate each other. When hunting or navigating, dolphins use echolocation. They emit clicks that bounce off objects, creating a mental map of their surroundings. This form of communication is highly efficient in murky waters. Another marine animal that communicates through sound is the whale. Whales communicate with deep songs that can be heard miles away. These songs vary between species and are often used for mating rituals. Humpback whales, for example, sing long and complex songs. Scientists believe these songs help attract mates and establish territory. While whales use sound, some marine animals prefer nonverbal communication. For instance, octopuses communicate through color changes and body patterns. These color shifts signal aggression, mating readiness, or camouflage. Some species of squid also use similar techniques to communicate. Their skin changes color in response to their emotions or environment. Sharks, on the other hand, don't rely on sound or color change. Instead, they communicate through body language and movements. A shark might raise its dorsal fin to signal aggression or dominance. Sea turtles use subtle movements and positioning to communicate with each other. They often signal their intentions to other sea creatures with specific gestures. Seals and sea lions use vocalizations to mark territory and communicate during mating. Their calls are loud and can be heard over long distances. Some fish species use chemical signals, known as pheromones, to communicate. These chemical signals help fish attract mates or warn others of danger. Marine invertebrates like lobsters and crabs use touch and chemical signals. They communicate through their antennae or by releasing chemicals in the water. Each method of communication is tailored to the animal's needs and environment. Communication is essential for survival in the vast, dark ocean. Without the ability to communicate, marine animals would struggle to thrive. Whether through sound, color, or movement, communication ensures cooperation and safety. But not all communication is peaceful. Some is about competition and defense. Aggression often takes the form of physical confrontations or vocal signals. For example, some fish use drumming sounds to scare away predators. Understanding how marine animals communicate gives us insight into their behavior. Next, let's explore how these animals use communication for hunting and survival. Communication allows marine animals to coordinate and achieve common goals. Marine animals rely heavily on communication when hunting for food. Dolphins, for instance, often work together to hunt in groups. They use a series of clicks and whistles to coordinate their movements. This synchronized communication helps them herd fish into tight groups. Once the fish are trapped, the dolphins take turns hunting them. Some species of orcas, known as killer whales, also communicate during hunts. Orcas have a complex system of calls that allow them to share information. They use these calls to locate prey, organize their pod, and navigate the waters. The cooperation seen in orca pods is a result of effective communication. Similarly, some fish species, like groupers and moray eels, hunt together. Groupers use sound to signal moray eels to join them in their hunt. The grouper makes a specific call to attract the eel, forming a hunting partnership. In this way, communication helps them catch prey more efficiently. Communication can also be a vital tool for marine animals to warn each other. Some fish species release alarm signals when they sense danger. These alarm signals are typically chemical in nature, warning others to flee. The presence of a predator triggers a chemical response in the water. These chemicals act like a silent siren, alerting nearby creatures to the threat. In some cases, fish use visual signals to communicate danger. For example, fish may flash bright colors when they are frightened. Bright colors serve as a warning to predators, signaling that the fish is not easy prey. Coral reef fish, like parrotfish, display vivid colors to communicate within their group. These colorful signals help them stay connected and avoid predators. Marine animals also use communication to establish territory. Male fish, for example, may use vocalizations or color displays to stake their claim. These territorial calls help avoid physical fights by warning other males to stay away. Male sea lions, during breeding season, call out to claim their territory on the shore. Their vocalizations are loud, ensuring that their presence is known to others. Even jellyfish use a form of communication, though it's much subtler. They release chemical signals into the water to communicate with other jellyfish. These signals are often used to indicate when it's time to move or feed. In the deep ocean, where light is scarce, sound becomes the primary communication tool. Fish like the midshipman fish produce low-frequency sounds to communicate during mating. These sounds travel long distances, helping fish find each other in the vast ocean. The ability to communicate is especially important in the deep sea, where visibility is poor. For some creatures, sound helps them identify potential mates. Male fishes often produce unique sounds to attract females. These vocalizations allow females to assess the quality of the male. Communication during mating seasons is common in many marine species. Marine animals also communicate to maintain social structures within their groups. In a pod of dolphins, communication helps establish roles and responsibilities. Some dolphins act as leaders, guiding the group during hunts or migrations. Whales also form tight-knit social groups where communication helps strengthen bonds. This social communication is key to maintaining the harmony of their group. Now, let's look at how marine animals use communication for mating and reproduction. Mating and reproduction are crucial life processes that heavily rely on communication. In many marine species, communication plays a key role in attracting mates. For instance, male humpback whales sing elaborate songs during the breeding season. These songs can last for hours and travel great distances underwater. The complexity of the song signals the male's fitness to potential mates. Female whales are thought to be attracted to the males with the most impressive songs. Similarly, male fish often use vocalizations to grab the attention of females. These vocalizations help the females assess the health and vitality of the male. In some fish species, males use a series of clicks or grunts to establish their presence. The louder and more rhythmic the call, the more likely the male is to attract a mate. Color change is another form of communication used in mating displays. Male fish, like the mandarin fish, display vibrant colors to attract females. The brightness and patterns of their coloration signal their readiness to mate. Seahorses have a unique courtship ritual where they change colors and dance together. This dance is a form of communication that strengthens the bond between mates. In species like the cuttlefish, males use a combination of color changes and body postures. This visual display communicates dominance and sexual readiness to females. Communication during mating is not always vocal or visual. In some species, like sea spiders, pheromones are released to attract mates. These chemical signals help males locate females over long distances. The release of pheromones can also trigger specific behaviors in potential mates. Even the giant squid uses chemical signals during mating to communicate with its partner. The release of sperm and eggs in marine species often involves synchronized communication. This ensures that reproduction occurs at the optimal time for both partners. In many species, such as corals, mass spawning occurs during specific lunar cycles. The exact timing of this event is communicated through environmental cues. The moon's light, water temperature, and chemical signals trigger the spawning process. Marine animals also use communication to protect their offspring. Many species, like dolphins, communicate with their young through specific calls. These calls help maintain close contact between mothers and calves. In sea turtles, mothers use specific vocalizations to communicate with their hatchlings. The mother's calls help orient the hatchlings toward the water after they emerge. Communication between parent and offspring ensures that the young are safe. For some species, like clownfish, the father is responsible for guarding the eggs. The father uses low-frequency calls to warn off potential predators. These protective calls are critical in ensuring the survival of the eggs. Even in the deep sea, where communication options are limited, species adapt. Anglerfish use bioluminescent light to communicate with potential mates in the dark. The glowing lure attracts mates from far distances, facilitating reproduction. As communication methods vary across species, so do their mating behaviors. Communication is not limited to attracting mates. It also helps in establishing dominance. In species like the elephant seal, males use loud calls to defend their territory. These vocalizations help establish the male's dominance over a specific area. The louder the calls, the more likely a male is to maintain control over his territory. Communication also plays a significant role in the migration patterns of marine animals. Many marine species travel vast distances to find food, mates, or suitable environments. Whales are among the most famous migratory animals in the ocean. They travel thousands of miles between feeding grounds and breeding areas. Communication is essential for coordinating these long migrations. Humpback whales, for example, use songs not only to attract mates, but also to navigate. Their songs may serve as a form of acoustic signaling, helping them stay in contact with their pod. Dolphins also rely on sound during their migrations to stay connected with their group. Their clicks and whistles help coordinate movement and maintain group cohesion. Some species of fish, like salmon, also rely on chemical signals for navigation. Salmon use pheromones to locate the rivers where they were born during their migration. These chemical signals help guide them back to their spawning grounds. Sea turtles, another migratory species, use the Earth's magnetic field for navigation. However, they also rely on visual cues and vocalizations during their journey. Turtles communicate with each other through a combination of movements and sounds. These signals help maintain coordination during the migration, ensuring they don't get separated. In the deep sea, communication methods are adapted to the dark environment. Some fish species use bioluminescence as a form of communication during migrations. The glowing light helps them communicate with others in the darkness. This light may also help deter predators or attract mates during the migration. The ability to communicate in the deep sea is vital for survival in such an extreme environment. Migratory animals like whales, turtles, and fish often travel in groups to stay protected. Group migration provides safety in numbers, as it's harder for predators to target large groups. Communication ensures that the group moves as one, reducing the risk of stragglers. During migration, marine animals also use communication to identify safe resting places. For example, dolphins use whistles to signal when it's time to stop and rest. They communicate with each other to locate the best spots for sleeping or feeding. In some cases, marine animals communicate through touch during migrations. Manatees, for example, will often communicate through physical contact. This touch communication helps keep their social bonds strong, even during long-distance travel. In some shark species, there is evidence that they communicate through body movements. They use movements like tail slaps to convey messages to other sharks in the group. These body signals may communicate warnings, threats, or a need for cooperation. Marine animals also rely on communication to adapt to changing environmental conditions. If a predator is nearby, dolphins might use rapid clicks to alert the group. This quick response allows the pod to quickly regroup or change direction. Similarly, fish will communicate when they sense danger, signaling the group to scatter. This helps to confuse predators and increase the chances of survival. The communication methods of marine animals are finely tuned to their environment. Each species has adapted its methods of communication to fit its needs and surroundings. Understanding these methods is crucial to protecting marine life and their habitats. By learning how marine animals communicate, we can better understand their behavior. This knowledge can also help us conserve these species and protect the oceans. Marine animals' communication systems are as complex and varied as the ocean itself. As we continue to explore and study these creatures, we uncover more about their world.